I'm going to run some errands while I share with you my thoughts on the whole Southwest Airlines debacle. In case you haven't heard, a video out of Denver International Airport went viral last week showing a Southwest passenger screaming she was in full meltdown at the gate. She kept yelling, "Do you feel safe?" over and over, demanding answers, making accusations, and escalating the situation to the point where people who were traveling, just waiting to board, started recording the incident. It's not very clear why this passenger had this meltdown, but she was calling for the Southwest employees to be fired. So, of course, everybody's talking about the video and focusing on this woman's interesting behavior. But what caught my attention was the employee she was berating. In the middle of all this, a Southwest Gate agent who was visibly shaken still did her job. She continued boarding, assisting customers, and stayed composed, even while she was in tears. So let me tell you something. That level of professionalism deserves a spotlight. We always focus on the meltdown. We replay the drama, but we rarely talk about the employee standing there with a job to do while someone unloads all their frustration on them. So what you saw in this video, if you look for it, is emotional labor, crisis management, de-escalation, and professionalism under public pressure. She did all this at the same time. Hats off to her. So whether you work at an airport, a hospital, a restaurant, a hotel, or even a corporate office, these moments teach powerful lessons. Anchor to your task. When chaos erupts, center yourself in your actual job duties. Professionalism is not the same thing as accepting abuse. Staying calm does not mean the behavior is acceptable. And keep in mind, you're always visible. In the era of viral videos, your professionalism can become the entire story. Managers must support staff. Employees shouldn't have to absorb abuse all alone. Recognize the calm ones. Emotional meltdowns get clicks, but the quiet strength deserves the applause. I want to tell y'all about an incident where I was having lunch with a judge, and soon after we were seated at the restaurant, we heard a huge commotion. And the next thing you know, we saw waiters running around the restaurant. And then the waiters came to our table. And first they told us to get under the table. It's like, really? And as we were getting up, and of course you're looking around trying to figure out what is all this commotion. And so instead of having us get under the table, they pulled us into a storage room. And the next thing you know, we're in that storage room with all the other people who were having lunch that day. And we start hearing what sounded like gunshots. You know, there's nothing scarier than being closed in and not having any idea what's happening. There's no escape. You're in a storage room and you hear gunshots and you have no idea what's going on. So, of course, we had our telephones with us. And the only way we found out what was happening was because we tuned into the news. And it's the oddest thing, if you ever find yourself in a really bad situation, to be right there where the incident is taking place and have no idea what's happening. But that was our predicament. Turns out that the receptionist who had just seated us was being stalked by her boyfriend or husband. He actually came in and took her life. We ultimately had to stay in that storage room and just wait for everything to calm down. And those waiters and waitresses did such a great job. You know, we stayed there until it ended and eventually left and went back to our daily lives. And that's just, one of those times where you have employees who are not trained, who aren't even thinking about that kind of thing. I mean, who goes to work at a restaurant and anticipates that kind of thing? But you just never know. And so, yes, the incident was all over the news. We were at a pretty popular restaurant in Atlanta, and it was a big deal. And I was really jumpy for a really long time after that. You hear gunshots and you're right there and you just have no idea. But anyway, I just salute employees who maintain calm and who do their job, notwithstanding. So I'd be interested to hear whether you all have ever encountered anything like this. And if you have, please do share your thoughts in the comments. I think that we should normalize recognizing and appreciating employees who do their jobs, notwithstanding. So let me know if you have any experiences to share. I'll see you on next shift.